quick because I was thinking about this as I was driving. I'm on the way to work, and have stagnant hair growth. So let's just say you somebody and your hair is stuck at a length and you feel like your hair has been at that length for a long time. So you like, okay, well maybe, my hair just don't grow no more. And that's sometimes the common mistake or not miss, but kind of like a mindset that some people have, because they do their hair and stuff, but their hair is stuck at one length. So your hair could be stuck at length. Hair could be stuck at broad strap length, okay? Your hair could be stuck at your chin, okay? And you feel like, man, my hair has been stuck at this length for over a year. Like, what's going on? How come my hair is not growing? Now I'm here to tell you that your hair is growing. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because something is going on in your routine where you're not able to retain that length and it's extended the same length. Now, I did a live stream a couple days ago. You can go back and watch it, and it was talking about myths about natural hair and exposing the truth as a licensed professional. So if you missed that, go back and watch that too after this live stream, because I dropped a lot of gems in there. But I just want you to know that your hair is always growing, okay? Remember, if you don't get nothing else from this live stream, remember, your hair is always growing, but more than likely, you're probably just someone that's struggling with length retention. Meaning, when that hair grows out your scalp, there is something that you're doing that's breaking your hair off and causing you not to retain that length. That's exactly what's happening. So the reason why I say your hair is always growing is because this can be confirmation for people that think the hair is not. It is, okay? Even when your hair is shedding, God always provides a new strand, okay? But the thing is, as that new strand is coming in, you're doing something. So I'm going to kind of break down maybe what some of the things that you could be doing that's stopping you from seeing your hair go to the next level. And I just want to say this, whatever you did in your hair care routine when your hair was shorter, probably it's not going to work at another length, okay? So you're going to have to up the ante, as they would say, with your hair care routine, okay? So those things that you was doing when your hair was shoulder length, that's probably not going to work once it get past shoulder length. Your routine is going to change, because when your hair goes to in different stages, it's going to need different things. And there's something that you did to get to a little lip gloss. There's something that you did to get to the length you are now. So if you find yourself stagnant and you like it's not growing past this, we got to look at your routine. We have to look at your hair care routine. So that's what I'm here to talk to y'all about. I'm about to walk inside this salon and we can chat. And if y'all got questions, you can put them in the chat as I walk in this salon. But yeah, so like I said, your hair is always growing. So there's something that you're doing that's not getting you to your ultimate thing. And you might be like, well, Lisa, I'm doing the most. I am doing everything. Well, you're probably not. And listen, y'all, I'm giving y'all this live stream, but I'm really preaching to myself, because I'm going through some things personally in my life, and I'm like, how come I'm not seeing results? And listen, listen. Let me wipe off my camera. I feel like I'm giving y'all Android vibes. Hold on. All right, maybe it's just the sun or something. I don't know. But listen, y'all. I thought I was doing everything I need to do, and now I'm like, why I ain't seeing results? And I ain't talking about my hair. I'm talking about something else. But light bulb came on is because technically when you break it down everything, you're not doing everything you're supposed to be doing. Okay, so let's just say, for example, your hair is your shoulder length, and you like, well, Lisa, I wash my hair every 2 weeks, and I do protective styles, but it's not growing. Okay, so let's look deeper into that. Do you get treatments? That's one of the things I ask people, are they doing treatments on their hair? And they be saying no. And I'm like, huh? Hold on. Yeah, some people, they're not doing treatments on their hair. So that's probably gonna be one of the reasons why you're not seeing the growth. And when I say treatments, listen. Hi. How are you today? Good. Okay. So when I say treatments, I mean in like deep conditioning. Are you doing a deep conditioning treatment on your hair? Are you getting a protein treatment? Because if your hair is damaged and you don't know, like you haven't came in and got a consultation from a professional, and that's the thing. If you feel like your hair is at a standstill and you're not seeing growth, first I'm gonna suggest come into the salon and get a consultation and have somebody else looking at your hair, because obviously what you're doing at home, it's not working. What you're doing at home is not working at all, and your growth is at a standstill. So now you need to come into a salon and get a consultation, or if you can't come into the salon, you can book a one-on-one call with me and break down everything that you're doing, and I can get you on the right track and show you what's, let me put y'all right here. I can show you basically what's the break in your routine. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes it takes somebody from the outside looking in, a professional, to really break down your routine to see like, okay, what's going on. So yeah, okay, so the first thing I'm gonna say when it comes to, figuring out the breaks is, how often are you shampooing your hair? So if you feel like your hair is stuck at the same length, how often are you shampooing your hair? If you're watching this on replay and you want to get in the chat. Oh, I forgot to get me a thing. Get in the chat and let me know, how often are you shampooing your hair? And if you're not seeing, and this especially for the ones who's not seeing results. So if you're someone and you like, man, my hair been stuck at the same length for a year, how often are you shampooing? Are you only shampooing your hair once a month or twice a month? So you might be like, well, I shampoo my hair twice a month. That could be the break. And the reason why I say that, well, that could be the break on why you're not seeing your growth you want to see. The reason why I say that, especially if you're watching this channel and you have natural hair and your hair is prone to get dry, like I'm holding a baby, but I'm holding flexi rods. But if you got natural hair and your hair is prone to getting dry real easily, you're not giving your hair enough moisture. You're not giving your hair enough moisture and the moisture that it needs. So what that means is you're gonna have to increase your shampoos. Okay? You are going to have to increase your shampoos. Point blank, period. I know some people don't like to hear that, but that's just the truth for the matter. You're going to have to do it. Because your hair, when your hair stays moisturized and when your hair has a good protein balance, you'll create a canvas for healthy hair. And when you create that canvas of having a good protein and moisture balance, then you're going to start to see length retention. So if your hair is lacking one or the other, like it's not getting enough moisture, it's not getting enough protein, your hair growth is going to be at a standstill. So the break in some of y'all routine could be, I need to up my shampoos. And here's the thing, and this is talking about getting your hair to the next level. Not mediocre, because obviously what you're doing is not working. Obviously shampooing every 2 weeks is not getting you to your goals. Now, if every 2 weeks is getting to your goals, I ain't talking to you. But there will become a time in your routine where you're going to realize that, okay, something I'm doing is not is not working. So I need to change some things up. So that's what I mean. Okay, so that's gonna be the first thing. If you notice that your hair is at standstill, let's check your shampoo routine. The second thing I want you to check is your treatments. So, sorry y'all, getting this stuff together for my clients. So, your treatment schedule. How often do you get your hair treated? So you know how we talked about how your hair need to have a good protein and moisture balance? How often do you get deep conditioners? How often do you get steam? Now I do want to clarify this. When it comes to steam treatments and deep conditioner treatments, they're both treatments that will help put moisture in your hair. The only difference between steam treatment and a deep conditioner is how it's done. So a steam treatment, but with both of the treatments, you're going to be putting conditioner on your actual hair strands, okay? So with both treatments, you're going to be putting the conditioner on the ends of your hair. And that's the thing. Pay close attention to where you're putting the conditioner. When you're doing your conditioning treatments, don't just slap the conditioner up there. No, take your time and really focus on the ends, because remember, you're trying to get your hair to go to the next level, right? I'm gonna sit y'all right there. You're trying to get your hair to go to the next level, right? And you're noticing you're not seeing the growth. So guess what? Since the ends is the oldest part, that's what we need to work on, okay? Because the ends are more fragile. So that's going to look like taking better care of your ends. So when you do your treatments, you want to focus that conditioner on the ends, because the ends are drier than what's closer to our scalp. If you watch my video the other day, I talked about how we all create our natural oils, okay? But those with curly hair, our hair tends to be a little bit more drier because how our hair grows out our scalp. When you got curly hair, kinky hair, or even maybe loose wavy hair, you will see that some of us deal with dry hair, okay? That's because when the hair come out the scalp, it come out, maybe your curls are like a circle. Maybe your curls come out in the S. Maybe your curls come out in the zigzag. But some other people of other descent or races, their hair grows out their scalp straight. So the natural oils that they already create is easy to slide down the hair shaft. So imagine this is the hair shaft. For those who have straight hair, it's growing out their scalp like this, straight. So just imagine if you got oil right there, it's able to easily glide down, versus if you got hair that's growing out the scalp like this, you see that kind of C? You see, it's not going to be able to easily glide all the way down, because it's either growing out your hair in a C, in zeros, or in a circle. It's not going to easily glide down. So the ends of the hair tends to be drier. So what that means is you got to, when it's time to do these treatments, which is important, and it's going to get your hair to the next level, that's why you want to concentrate on the ends. Is this making sense, y'all? If you're watching the replay, put it makes sense. Or if you're watching live, put it, this makes a lot of sense. Because this will set somebody free, okay? So, when you're doing your treatments, focus the conditioner on the ends, because it's the oldest part, and we want to keep that part as moisturized, because it's hard for the moisture to get down there when you have really, really curly hair, okay? So that's that. So let me talk about the treatments. So the deep conditioner, when you're doing the deep conditioner, again, you're going to focus the conditioner on the ends. And when you do that, you're going to put a plastic cap. You're going to put a plastic cap on your head. And after you put the plastic cap on your head, you're going to get up under the hooded dryer, okay? And I'm going to say this. Most conditioners time cap is anywhere between 10 to 15 minutes. And maybe some conditioners is 20 minutes. But once you sit up on the dryer, where did the lid go? Oh. Once you sit up under the dryer for about 15 to 20 minutes, you can go ahead and rinse that conditioner out. Don't feel like you doing the, don't be trying to do the most. And what I mean by that is some people, they'll put conditioner on their hair and they'll leave it on for more than the time says on the thing. Because you probably think, oh, Lisa, my hair is so dry. I feel like I need to keep the conditioner on there longer. And it's like, no. The conditioner, speaking of conditioner, here's my conditioner still on my website if you got dry hair. LisaSmilez.com. Honey Mimosa conditioner. So most of the time, if you put the conditioner on your hair, with most conditioners, it done did what it needs to do within those 10 to 15 minutes, especially if you're adding heat. Even if you're not adding heat and you're doing body heat, you probably could keep it a little bit longer, maybe 30 minutes, but that's it. That's it. And the reason why you want to take that conditioner out after 30 minutes is because if you keep the conditioner on longer, you're actually going to do more harm to your hair than helping it. And what I mean by that is, like, the purpose of conditioner is to make our hair nice and soft, you know, and to deeply, you know, condition it, get it moisturized. But it's kind of like if you keep the conditioner on overnight, let's just say you sleep in it overnight, or you have it on your hair for hours upon hours, you are weakening your hair shaft even more. And so what happens is when you weaken that hair shaft even more over time, then now it's too soft. Now your hair is like a spaghetti noodle. So think about the difference between uncooked spaghetti and cooked spaghetti. Uncooked spaghetti is hard, okay? You can't just, it's not easily broken, okay? You still can break it, but it's not easily broken. Versus if you have cooked spaghetti, it's soft, it's limp, so you can give it to a baby and the baby can break it down. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what you're doing with your hair when you're like, well, oh, I'm going to just sleep in it overnight because my hair is extra dry. No, ma'am, you're not going to do that. Don't do that because you're going to make it worse. So that way, and if you're new here, I'm going to say this again, even for the people, my OGs who watch my channel know this. When your hair is wet, it's at its weakest state, okay? Your hair is very prone to a lot of breakage when it's wet. So even when you're detangling your hair and managing your hair when it's wet, you need to make sure you're not being too harsh. Because if you are being too harsh while your hair is wet, you're going to be breaking your hair off even more. And that could be another reason why you're not seeing the growth you want to see, is because when your hair is wet, when even though you got conditioner on it, you still being too rough detangling. You are still being too rough. So if your hair is at a plateau, start doing deep conditioner and or steam treatments. And here's my steamer right here, y'all. I'm about to get it ready for my client. Here's my steamer. Okay, it's a micro mist hair steamer. So with a steamer, you don't use a plastic cap. With a steamer, it's just going to have, you're going to just put the conditioner on your hair and you're going to sit up on there. And the steam is going to get directly on the hair shaft. It's actually going to open that hair cuticle up. Even with deep conditioner, anytime you apply like heat with conditioner, it's going to open it up. Let me do my little analogy. This is your hair shaft. So when, especially if you have tight curls or you prone to have dry hair, if you got natural hair and it hasn't been, I'm gonna just say this, if you have natural hair that has not been chemically treated with either color or a relaxer or any kind of like keratin or something, any kind of chemical. Let's just say you never colored your hair, you never had any kind of heat damage, never had a relaxer, more than likely you're low porosity, meaning your hair cuticle is tight. It's tight. It's hard for moisture to get in. That's why a lot of times those with low porosity hair always complain about, oh, my hair is dry, oh, my hair is dry. So with you need heat to lift up that hair cuticle. So when you're using heat, like when you get up on the steamer or you on the dryer for deep conditioning, it's opening that hair cuticle up so that all that good conditioner can get up in there, okay? And that way it'll help keep your hair moisturized in the long term. That's why when people say, oh, my hair dry, and they just go to oiling, you're not curing the problem. You have to go back to shampooing your hair and doing the treatments. And the reason why I'm saying this is because the more you start shampooing your hair on a regular basis and doing these treatments on a regular basis, you will start to see your hair is going to be moisturized. And when your hair stays more moisturized, guess what? That leads to length retention. Now, some people heard me say, dang, I gotta start shampooing my hair once a week. Do you want to see length retention or not? Remember, this live stream is about, for those who just joined, this live stream is about for those hair who are stuck at a certain length. You gotta do something different. You can't keep doing the same thing. You're gonna have to up the ante. Okay? So yeah, if your hair is dry, that means it's constantly breaking off and you're not able to see the growth you want to see. So we got to get past your hair breaking off. We got to get to it. So that's why if your hair ain't growing, let's look at your treatment schedule. Let's up that. And for some people, if you got chronically dry hair, maybe you're somebody and you like, man, I wash, it seems like no matter what I do, my hair is back dry in 2 days, 3 days. You are probably one of those people who is a special case, not trying to be funny, not in a derogatory way, but you are someone who definitely need to be shampooing every 7 days like clockwork. Like, don't be trying to be like, oh, I'm gonna wait 2 weeks. No, if you wash your hair and you like it's dry in 2 days, you are definitely somebody that need to up the ante and shampoo every 7 days. And then you also somebody that you need to start off deep conditioning or steaming your hair every week too. Because sometimes if your hair is chronically dry, you're going to have to do something drastic for a little while to get your moisture levels up. Now, once your hair starts staying moisturized a little bit longer, then yes, you can probably do a treatment, like a deep conditioning treatment of some sort, probably every 2 weeks versus every week, okay? So keep that in mind, right? So that's the thing, treatment. So first we talked about if you're not seeing your hair growing, what was the first thing I said? I don't know, I can't remember. But I did talk about your shampoo. That was the first thing I said. The other thing I said you had to do is the treatments. Now, the other treatment that you might need to do if you're not seeing growth is protein. Okay? So you could be someone where your hair cuticles are raised like that. Hey, G-Boo. So your hair cuticles are slightly raised. And with those type of people with that type of hair, you'll notice like when you get in the shower or you get ready to shampoo your hair gets wet easy. Like it'll take in moisture easy. And that's because your hair cuticle are raised. If you got low porosity, if your hair, it takes a long time. If it's tight, if you got low porosity hair, your hair cuticle is tight. So you'll notice if your hair is low porosity, when you get ready to shampoo your hair, it takes a long time for your hair to get wet. And that's because that hair cuticle is so tight, it takes a while for it to open up. I hope this is making sense. On the opposite end, you could be high porosity, meaning your hair receive all that water. Your hair like, oh, give me that good, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But just as easy as that water go in, just as easy as it go out, okay? Because remember, your hair cuticle, that thing wide open, you hear me? That thing wide open. So yes, it's able to get the moisture in, but then you might have a hard time with it retaining it. So with you might need to lean more towards getting you some protein treatments or doing some treatments that's going to help, you know, seal it down a little bit, okay? So you might be somebody with high porosity. So high porosity people, these are typically the people who have been, your hair have been chemically relaxed. You'll see this with people with color treated hair. If you had color in your hair, you'll see this with people who have, thank you for sharing. You'll also see this with people who have maybe had some heat damage. Maybe you put too much heat on your hair, okay? You'll also see this with people who maybe had a keratin treatment, like or a texturizer. You know, because when you get these chemicals on your hair, it is breaking down the hair a little bit, okay? So you don't, versus like when you're natural, you know, your hair is a little bit more stronger, but chemicals is going to break down some of those bonds, okay? That's just how it goes. Not calling relaxers bad, but if you can get a relaxer, first of all, you need to be going to a professional, and you need to keep your hair treated. So for those who have high porosity, meaning, or your hair is damaged, your hair cuticle is kind of raised, okay? So you might need some protein. That protein treatment is going to come and help fill in those gaps that you're missing, okay? Thank y'all so much for liking the video. I really do appreciate it. If this information is really helping you and you're learning something right now, I would appreciate if you would double tap the screen if you're watching live, or if you're watching a replay, just like the video if anything I said is resonating with you. And thank you for subscribing to the channel. So, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be getting ready. So, if you're someone and you have high porosity, or your hair has been chemically damaged of some sort, your hair cuticle is raised. So you will probably need to do protein treatments. And like I said, those protein treatments is going to go in and fill in those holes and those gaps. So when it is time for you to put moisture in your hair, it can actually stay, okay? So I'm bringing this up is because if your hair is like losing one, okay, so you might be, I'm good on moisture, but it's the protein. I'm noticing my hair breaks off easily. It doesn't hold a curl. You need to get a protein treatment. My curls are limp, you know, my hair is just lifeless, okay? You might need a protein treatment, something to help fill in those gaps. Because remember, with healthy hair, you need a balance of protein and moisture. So if your hair is missing that missing piece of that protein, that means your hair is breaking off more. It's not able to hold the moisture, you know what I'm saying? So you got to add that missing piece. And when you add that missing piece, guess what? Now we get into lymph retention. I ask some people with very, very damaged hair, I'm like, have you had a protein treatment or any kind of treatments? And they say no. And see, that's the missing piece for some of y'all who are not seeing growth. Another reason why your hair could be at a standstill is because of how you managing it. How you managing your hair. So you could unintentionally, thank you, Sheena Major, for deleting that. You could be unintentionally being too rough with your hair. So when your hair is wet, remember it's at the weakest state. So you just going in with the comb, going in with the brush, not even caring, not be gentle with your hair. Natural hair, like I told y'all the other day, is some of the strongest hair. Our hair is strong. If your hair has not been chemically relaxed or hasn't had any kind of heat damage or hasn't been relaxed and you just got raw natural hair, your hair is very strong. But just because it is very strong, don't take advantage of it and just be ripping it out. But our hair is also susceptible to being broken off easily when it's wet if you being too rough. So when your hair is wet, be gentle with your hair, okay? Another reason your hair could be at the plateau is too much heat. You could be using entirely too much heat on your hair. And again, that's breaking down your hair. Okay. Now you got gaps and holes in your hair. So when you do moisturizer and stuff like that, nothing is sticking because you got holes because you put too much heat. Okay, you drying your hair out. Remember, with healthy hair, you need a balance of protein and moisture. So you got to have that balance if you want to start to see length retention. Remember, I'm selling this stuff. Nothing is new from the other lives. I ain't gonna say nothing is new. It is stuff that's new. But some of y'all probably have heard this, but you have to really listen to what I'm talking about, because some of this stuff, for some of y'all who watch my channel, it could sound repetitive, but also, are you really listening and seeing like, what in my hair routine am I missing? Because my hair I feel like my hair is not growing. Remember, you feel like, because remember what I said, your hair is always growing. You're having a problem with that length retention. What's going on? Because look, God is so good that your hair don't stop growing until you go meet the Lord. Until you get in the grave. Until this soul leave your body. That's when your hair is going to stop growing. So I don't care if you're in your 60s. Your hair is still growing. And your hair might be growing at a slower rate when you're in your 60s and your 70s, your 80s. But it's still growing. So it's even more imperative. The older we get, our hair routine need to be figured out, okay? Now, when you young, I'm not saying you can just, jack up your hair, but especially as we are aging, as we're getting older, we have to be more intentional. Even me, I've been more intentional about my skincare. You know what I'm saying? I've been even more intentional about my skincare, because I've been seeing these ladies out here in their 50s and 60s, and they be looking good. You hear me? And I'm like, I want to be like that when I grow up. So what does that mean? I need to be taking care of my skin now in my 30s. So when I get in my 40s, in my 50s, in my 60s, I can look like I'm young, okay? So anyway, I just want to throw that out there. But anyway, if your hair is stuck at a length, remember, you got to up the ante. You can't keep doing the same thing you was doing before. And I also want to say this. When a lot of times people say, protective styling. Protective styling is good too. And again, protective styling don't always mean adding hair to yours. Because a lot of people are like, I'm going to get a protective style. I'm going to go get some box braids. Or I'm going to get a crochet. I'm going to get a wig. I'm going to get a weave. Again, it's nothing wrong with that. But protective styling is also your natural hair. Protective styling is not always a style. Let me drop it. Let me say it again so y'all can get it in y'all spirit. Protective styling is not always a style. It could be how you're caring for your hair that's protective. Listen, get that on y'all spirit. Let me say it again. How you care for your hair is a protective style. Yes, that's a word. Think about it. You saying protective style because we have been so conditioned to think braids, weaves, wigs, because I want to protect my hair. But okay, how are you styling and handling your hair? Are you rough with your hair? Do you put a scarf on your hair at night? Are you just laying back on the couch with no satin cap? Or are you taking your hair and picking it and pulling it? Are you not keeping your ends moisturized? Listen, you do not have to, and let me set some people free. And I have the results because you can go on my page and look at it. Over the past year and a half, I have intentionally not added no weave to my hair. I have not. I want to say, when the last time I had some weave in my hair? I want to say it was April of 2023. So it's been over a year. Shoot, hold on. Has it been 2 years? I don't know. It's been a while. I know I ain't getting no weave all 2024. So it had to be 2023 last time I had some weave. I have been wearing my hair in 2-strand twists, wash and goes, doing styles with my natural hair. I have cut my hair, and my hair is now growing back. You can go look on my community page. It probably was last week. I posted a picture of my hair growth for 6 months. That just proved, and the reason why I'm pointing that out is because I have been doing protective styling, meaning I have been taking care of my hair. So a lot of people think, oh, my hair only grows when it's in braids. No, you just don't know how to take care of your hair when it's out. So you put in braids. But you still could be somebody putting in braids all the time and you not seeing growth. And really, it's because when your hair come out them braids, because you don't know nothing about your natural hair, you don't wear your hair out enough, you frustrated with it. So you take out those braids and you just ripping your hair out, detangling. Okay? You detangling on dry hair, you're not putting no moisture, you just ripping that hair out. And you like, man, my hair is at a standstill, or dang, I'm somebody and I always wear braids, but every time I take it out, my stylist be talking about I got to get this much trimmed off. So now we got to look at, what are you doing? So protective styling is not always an actual style. Protective styling is also, how are you handling your hair? How are you handling? Are you rough? Do you wrap your hair at night? Do you keep your ends moisturized? Deep conditioning is protective styling. Getting a protein treatment is protective styling. So you can grow your hair by wearing your natural hair. A lot of people think they only can grow their hair if they just put weave in it. No, I told y'all, the way how God designed our bodies, our hair is always growing. The issue is, and what I want to run home, if you don't take nothing else from this live stream, I want you to ask yourself, when you go to, how am I handling my hair once it grows out my scalp? Am I respecting my hair? Am I gentle with my hair? Do I always do my hair in a rush? Am I always rushing? Because that's the thing, there could be some people's lifestyle. You might not even realize it. Every time it's time to do your hair, you care for everybody else in your house, okay? You care for your husband, your kids, your nieces and nephews, but when it comes to your hair, it seems like you always rushing. Oh, I got to hurry up and take these braids out because I got an appointment tomorrow. So you just, you know what I'm saying? You don't even think about it. You always in a rush when it comes to yourself. But see, you're not considering yourself. You're not honoring yourself. And you're thinking like, oh, it just takes so much time. But aren't you worth the time? Aren't you worth the hour it takes? Aren't you worth even the 2 hours it takes? I'm pretty sure you work at a job and you serve other people. You probably work. So you mean tell me you can work 8 hours for a job or even overtime and you don't have 1 hour to dedicate to yourself? You are worth it, sister. Yes, Sheena Major. She put, yes, I'm worth it. If you're watching the replay, say, I am worthy of taking care of my hair. And here's the thing. I'm about to set y'all free. Set y'all free. I want y'all to stop thinking that, you know, it takes me too long. Trust me. When it comes to, people look at me doing my hair and I'm like, oh, you can do your hair quick because you're a professional. You do this all day, every day. I wouldn't be this way if I didn't take time to practice and learn. See, the reason why some people are frustrated with their hair and they don't have time is because it's always in braids. They never have to deal with it. They never have to deal with it. But I'm telling you, the more and more you start getting into a routine of taking care of your hair, you're going to figure out even little tweaks to make your routine quicker, and it's not going to take you that long. I have some clients who come see me 3 to 4 times a year, and their hair is top tier because they shampoo their hair once a week. They really take care of their hair. They come to me for like little checkups, and they have gotten their I had a good testimonial. One of my clients, she came to me, she started coming to me, I want to say the end of 2023 or 2024. When she first came to me, she said, Lisa, it would take me like 5 to 6 hours to do my hair. Now, granted, this sister, now, she got some hair on now. When I tell you she got some hair on her, listen, she got some hair on her, okay? So, listen, I'm pointing this out because she got thick cord, like her strands are thick and her hair is thick, okay? She at the top of the top, okay? She said it would take her about 5 to 6 hours to do her hair. Now, since she's been coming consistently, and also, not only that, because over the past couple months, she actually been stretching her appointments out a little bit longer because now she's learning how to do her hair. Now, y'all, it only takes her 2 hours to do her hair. You see what I'm talking about? Because now she have been coming and I've been teaching her how to maintain her hair at home. And because she's wearing it more, she's learning. And I'm telling you, the more and more you shampoo your hair get easier to manage. Because some people be like, oh, I don't want to wash it. Okay, in the beginning, yes, it might be hard. But when you start getting to a routine and you shampooing every 7 to 10 days, you will notice that, oh, it's saying my hair is not shedding as much. Your hair is still shedding, but because you're shampooing and take care of it more, it's not like a big surprise when 3 weeks or 4 weeks have went by and you haven't shampooed your hair. Okay? So if you frustrated with your natural hair and you feel like your hair is not is at the same length and you at a standstill, you need to look at your routine. You need to look at what you're doing, how you're taking care of your hair, because what worked when your hair was a TWA might not work now that your hair is shoulder length. And what works when your hair was shoulder length is might not work once your hair get down your back. So you might need some fine tuning your routine if you're trying to get to the length goal. And you might think you're doing everything right, but you're not. And the reason why you're not is because your hair stayed the same length. So that means something's going wrong. So if you need one-on-one help, holler at your girl. She listened to you and did what you said and got results. Yes. And I said this before, and I think I talked about this in my membership. If you want to join the Smilez tribe, I have a private membership within the YouTube channel, and I go deep and I talk about other stuff, and I do members only live. But I'll share this what I share in the membership live briefly here. And if you want to hear more on this topic, you got to sign up for the membership. I talked about how your healthy hair journey, it starts with you. And really, if you want to achieve healthy hair, the healthy hair regimens are built in between salon visits. Okay? Yes, I do help with that. I'm a hair doctor. You know, I'm out here spreading the natural hair gospel. But the real test comes when you leave the salon. Hey, Karen, thank you for being here. The real test comes when you leave my salon, when you leave my chair. I give you the tools and tips and tricks and everything you need while you're sitting in the chair. I teach you how to do your hair, all that kind of stuff. But the real work comes when you leave the salon. I kid you not, I never forget I had this client one time. She came, she got a new client package. We trimmed, we treated her hair, got it all together. She came back in a month and she had almost the same amount of split ends as she had before. Now I'm like, you should not need another trim in 4 weeks. I just seen you a month ago. What's going on? The thing was, she thought she could just leave the salon and be willy-nilly and came back in the same position she was a month ago. And that just goes to show you that you have to do your part even at home. When you listen to these live streams, you getting this good knowledge. You know, the real test come once I get done with this live. So even if you have to come back and be like, oh, you know what? Lisa did say this. Let me go back and watch this live and see what she said about this. You know, or either come back later and take notes or, you know, jot some stuff in your phone as you're watching it, because that's when the real test comes. Not just look at me in my face. Don't come here and just look me in my face. Get the tools and tips you need, because I'm dropping gems for the free 99. You hear me? So that's when the real test come. Even with my clients, even the clients that come, I have some clients. I have a VIP membership called Elisa Lux, and these clients, they're more frequent clients. So they come every 2 weeks like clockwork. But even them that come every 2 weeks who's up under the membership and they get the supreme treatments and care and stuff like that, they still had to take care of their hair in between. Just because they come see me more don't mean that they get the relax. And they do get to relax a little bit because, yeah, they in routine. They see me every 2 weeks. So, yeah, that's different. But they still have to do their part. They can't just leave out here after getting their hair done and don't tie their hair up. Don't keep their ends more strong. Oh, I just go see Lisa in 2 weeks. No, because you're not going to see results. Take this as an example. If you go to the dentist, for y'all who go to the dentist, I'm pretty sure most of y'all do. If you don't, I'm praying God move in your life and you can get some insurance and go to the dentist. You don't wait till you go to the dentist to brush your teeth, do you? Now I will hope you don't. I'm pretty sure everybody is up here is brushing their teeth every day, if not twice a day. You should be brushing twice a day. Again, I'm not a dental hygienist, but I know basic care is we should be brushing twice a day at the minimum. Some people even suggest after every meal, but you know, the way people set up, people ain't doing that. But you should brush in the morning, in the night, and you should be flossing every day. Okay, that's what you should be doing. So your dentist, okay, you might miss a day or here or two on flossing, but when you go to the dentist, you going for a little checkup to see what's going right, what's going wrong. You don't wait till you go to the dentist the brush your teeth. That's just basic maintenance for your mouth. Okay, so it's the same thing with hair. Am I saying you gotta wash your hair every day? No, but what I am saying is we gotta look at our routines and make sure we are doing what we supposed to do in the meantime until we go to a hairstylist. And then we go to the hairstylist, she's going to fine tune. I'm going to listen to, I always ask my clients, so what's going on with your hair? Oh, everything's going fine. But then when I start talking to them, and they start telling me all their business, I'm like, oh, well, that's good that you're doing that. Okay, that's good. And then I hear some things in their routine, I'm like, oh, I don't think you should be doing that. I don't think you should be doing that. So if you're not seeing the results you want to see in your hair, go back and listen to this video again. Get it in your spirit. And let's look at how we taking care of our hair. And last thing I want to say, if you're not seeing results in your hair, probably a trim, but that's for another story. And then I know people are like, what do you mean? Why am I trim my hair if I'm not seeing growth? Remember, your hair is always growing. A trim is not going to make your hair grow. A trim is, if anything, is going to remove those dead ends that need to be off anyway, okay? So, but the more and more you're taking care of your hair, you'll start to see, like, when it's time. When I had a client who came back for a trim 8 weeks later, I said, you don't even need a trim. I told her. I said, you have did so good with your hair. Because I'm not one of those type of stylists that just want to be trimming just to be trimming. I was like, honestly, you don't need to trim today. Like, you can actually go longer because you did a supreme job in 8 weeks. And I had her come back in 8 weeks because she had been struggling. But she was doing so good that I was like, okay, you can up the ante. And now we get into lip retention. So, y'all, I'm going to get ready for my client. I hope this live stream was informative. Thank y'all for sharing. Thank y'all for liking. Thank you to the members. Coach Shannon said, this is so good. Thank you, Lisa, for the hair encouragement. Oh, you're welcome. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you need hair care products, there go my products right there. You can go to lisasmilez.com. If you're not on my email list, you might want to get on my email list because I'm gonna do something a little special come next month. But it's only gonna be for the people that's on my email list, and it's only gonna be for the people who's in the Smilez Tribe membership. So be on the lookout for that. I'm gonna do something a little nice, something I ain't did in a long time to bless y'all. Okay, so have an amazing day. Turn on your post notifications. Do I go live at the same time? No, it's when the spirit lead me. Okay, people want to know, at least when you be going live, turn notifications. Okay, because when the spirit lead me, that's when I'm gonna go live. Okay, thank y'all so much. Thank you, Coach Shannon, for posting the link, and I'll see you in another video. Bye. Lord, if I can turn live off.